It's page 14. We're starting page 14. Woohoo, 14. All right, 14. We're gonna do the top together. The top two, I like to do these when they're side by side because they're the same, but they're not. They're not the same. They're similar. The difference is you've got a variable expression under the fraction bar here, and then you've got the same variable expression on top of the fraction bar. So let's see, this is the one I like to rewrite, and I always run out of space, but I don't want to squeeze my stuff in, so I want to get rid of everything under the fraction bar. I will multiply that times x minus 5, and I will multiply that times x minus 5. Got rid of it, so now I have 6 equals. The last time I did not distribute, so this time I will distribute. So 3x, 3 times negative 5 is negative 15, minus 15. Now, to get the variable term alone, I will add 15 to both sides. That gives me 21 equals 3x. Now I need to isolate just the x, nothing more than the x. And to undo the times 3, I will divide by 3. So I'm left with 21 divided by 3 is 7 equals x. And x equals 7. You see? Let's look at E. Since 2 is on the bottom, I'm not going to rewrite it because I have just enough space. See, just enough. To undo the divided by 2, I will multiply by 2. It's algebra, so I have to do it on both sides. Goodbye. X minus 5 equals 4. To isolate the x, I will undo the minus 5 by adding 5. That leaves me with x equals 9. And B, this is one of these again. So when I had one right here, I distributed. So this time I will not distribute. I'm just gonna go back and forth. So 5, F and G are just like this one. I want to do it where I undo the times 3. That actually has fewer steps. When you distribute, it ends up being a 3-step problem, whereas when you divide by 3, it ends up being a 2-step problem. You still get the same answer. So really it boils down to a preference. To undo times 3, I will divide by 3. That cancels out. So I have x minus 4 equals 4. See, that was the first step, and this will be our next step, and then we've got the answer. The opposite of minus 4 is plus 4. X equals 8. And guess what? If we go all the way down here, I felt like doing H today. I know the first thing that you want to do is to get rid of the divided by x. When you look at that problem, you're like, yeah, I don't want x on the bottom, I need to deal with it. But hold off, you can't do that yet. First, we've got to recognize that this is your variable term, and you always have to make sure your variable term is by itself before you do anything to it. So, I can't get rid of the x on the bottom first. First thing I have to do is get rid of the plus 3. So then this will be by itself. So I will subtract 3 from both sides. And then I have 21 divided by x equals 7. Now I can undo the divided by x by multiplying by x. That cancels out, and I'm left with 21. 7 times x is 7x. Now to isolate just the x, I divide both sides by 7. Then I get 3 equals x, and x equals 3. That, my dear, is our